Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. I'm back again. Now we're going to talk about today mistake men make part 2. This is going to be a follow-up to the first one. But before we get there, let me share this with you first. I'm in the process of planning a trip to Thailand. This would be my first time going. I know those of you have been probably saying, he's crazy, he's never been to Thailand, is he out of his mind? No, I've never been to Thailand. This is my first trip. I'm in the process of getting things going and I hope to be there soon. I've been to 7 countries and all over the US, but this is the first time I've ever gone to Thailand. So what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have been there, share with me some of the things you've seen, experienced, and you would like to know about. If you have not been there, be sure to tell me what you would like to see. Basically something you want to see, information, that kind of thing. What I can put on YouTube, I'm going to put there. Anything I have that cannot go on YouTube, I'm going to put on my social media site. So be sure to do that for me because this is my first trip and I'm really excited about going. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Now, with that being said, let's go on and get into the topic. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And please consider joining my social media site that's strictly for us guys. And let's share whatever information we have. And it's basically to help each other, okay? Now, with this, today we're going to talk about the mistakes men make, part 2. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to break it in 2 parts. First, I want to start with the men. And this is something that men need to consider. Now think about this. Why is it that the men don't want to leave the women, but the women always want to leave the men? Okay? And if you keep that in mind and look at some of the experiences you've had or maybe some friends have had, and it's just kind of maybe a food for thought, as they say, okay? Just food for thought to say, why is that? Why is it they don't have anything, but they want to leave me, and I'm the one working every day. I'm not trying to leave her. What's up with that? So just something to think about. So what we're going to do here, first I want to say men, okay? This is what you need to consider. First, let's look at, you have to know what you want, okay? First and foremost, you have to know what is it that you want. Just like if you were to go out here today and buy a car or a television or whatever, you have a general idea of what you want. And we got to treat these women the same way. If you're the kind of man that you want your girl to be attentive, part of the relationship, then there's no need for you to go out there and get someone who's just the opposite, who she only contacts you when she has time, or give you excuses about, well, I didn't have load, or I didn't have a connection, what's the other excuse? Or I broke my phone. You don't need that if you're trying to establish something, okay? So that's the first thing you need to consider. Now next, we want to look at, what is her pattern? Patterns tell a lot about people. Everything in life has a pattern. Mother Nature has a pattern. You, me, everyone has a pattern how we do things. If her pattern is showing you that she's not going to pay attention to you, if her pattern is showing you that she's a party girl, then you need to look at this and don't ignore the patterns, because this is a red flag to give you an indication on how she's going to treat you. If her pattern is to message you only when she has time, or to tell you she didn't message you because she was busy, if that's her pattern, then you need to walk away. And I can't make it any simpler than that. Walk away, because you're setting yourself up for disaster, okay? Don't be afraid of walking away for something does not serve your purpose. Now, the next thing we need to look at is, does she behave with a sense of entitlement? Now, when we look at entitlement, that's someone who talks like, you owe them, okay? You got to give her what she wants just because. And when you're dealing with the person that feels like they are entitled, then basically you're not a 3D autonomous person. You're just there to give her what she wants in order to keep the relationship going. Because what ends up happening is she's going to ask you to do or give, and you're going to say no. And that may be your honest answer. Then she's going to get angry. And then when she's get angry because you're feeling codependent, because you're feeling a feeling of loss, you give her what she wants. Because you don't want to feel that pain of her not talking. But we have to take that pain and embrace it and say, okay, if this is her pattern, once again, we talk about patterns. If this is her pattern, and this is her way of trying to punish me because I don't do what she say, then I need to walk away from this one. You don't need to be with someone who's going to punish you because you make a decision for yourself of not giving her the money she wants, or supporting her family, or catering to the whims of her siblings. You don't need to do that. Walk away. Namaste and walk away. So when you got someone who's feeling entitled, you will never have a peace of mind because you're always chasing that high. Okay? You're going to be wanting to give, and she's going to be wanting to take, and you'll never be happy, and that bucket will never fill up. So those are 3 things that men need to consider about themselves. You have to look at yourself and say, what is it that I want? What is the girl's pattern? And is she behaving with the sense of entitlement? Okay? Now, next we're going to go in and talk about the women, because these are things I think men need to consider when they are choosing a mate. And I'm going to give you 3 bullet points that I want you to think about. Now, this is just food for thought, okay? Just things for you to think about. Maybe you or someone else have experienced this, and it may be something you want to sit back and think about, all right? Now, the first thing I want to look at, when you pick a woman, look at this. Is this woman exploitative? And what I'm saying is that some women will try to exploit you, okay? A lot of women, with the way they dress, with the way they behave, and with the way they talk, they want to exploit you for their own personal gain. So when you're walking down the street and you see a woman, she's showing all her assets, she's trying to exploit you. She wants to get your attention. If she managed to get your attention, next she's going to exploit you by basically telling you, you got to give her what she wants. You give me what I want, or this is not going to work. She's trying to exploit you. That's also manipulation. And then let's say you continue associating with her, and let's say you share some information with her. One day she's going to take that information and throw it back up in your face. And when she does that, that's her way of making you feel lower than her, making you feel guilty, so therefore you give her what she wants. So see, she's trying to exploit you for her own personal gain. And you don't need a woman that's going to exploit you, because you'll never be right. You'll never have a sense of peace, because everything you do and say, she's going to hold against you. You don't give me what I want, I'm leaving. You don't take me where I want, I'm leaving. Oh, you can't afford this anymore, I'm leaving. And you don't need that. So this is another thing you need to look at when it comes to dealing with those women. So please consider this, okay? The next thing I want you to consider when dealing with those women is, do they have a lack of empathy? And what that means is that I've heard several times over the 20 plus years I've been going to the Philippines, and you'll hear them say, can you send me money? I need to buy food. Or somebody's in the hospital, or I broke my phone, or I need money for my pigs, or my children need something. They have a lot of excuses. Oh, I forgot the good one. I need money to pay my tuition. nobody is ever going to school. However, she needs money for her tuition. But let's say you tell her in whatever words, you can't do it. You have something pressing. You have your own issues. And let's say she comes to you and she says, can you send me money? I need to pay my tuition. And you tell her, say, well, I can't right now. My car's in the shop. And you know how expensive it is to fix your car. Well, my car's in the shop. I can't do it. Then she goes, well, can you help me anyway? Right there, it shows you she's not empathetic to what's going on with you. She's only want you to fix her problem. And in doing so, to me, I don't feel that a person could possibly care about me when I'm telling them I got a problem and they still telling me to fix their problem. So look for someone and see if they have a lack of empathy. What does she do when you tell her you have a problem? That's something to consider. Last but not least, when she's angry, does she go silent? Now, to me, that's the biggest red flag you ever want to wave. I mean, that flag is waving and waving. When a person goes silent on you, when you're talking to them and they say she asks you for something and you give her an answer, no, however, and she doesn't like your answer, she goes silent. You're talking to her, she looks away. Okay? You're talking to her and she ignores you. Or she doesn't reply to your message. All these things is a way of punishing you because she doesn't like the answer that you gave her. When somebody doesn't like the answer you gave them, it's because they're expecting a different answer. And when you don't give them the answer that they want, and basically it's because they want you to supply them with their needs, then they go silent and get angry. That's a form of punishment. They're punishing you for not catering to their whims. And I don't know about you guys, ain't nobody gonna punish me because I feel I don't want to do something. If I don't want to send money, or if I don't want to, just whatever, if I don't want to do it, I'm a 3D autonomous person. I have the right and privilege to say no. And I'm not going to cater to somebody's whims because they feel I should do that. Okay? Sometimes you have to say no. Because if you don't say no, you're digging yourself in a financial hole. They're not going to help you get out. And once you're broke, they're going to leave you anyway. So therefore, you really don't have a real relationship. So those are some things you need to consider when you are picking a mate. Okay? Think about what you want. Look at how she behaves. And these are things you should keep in mind to say, well, yeah, she looks good and all, but you ain't treat me like that. Not no, but hell no. And walk away. Just like she can walk away from you and never look back, you should be able to walk away from her and never look back. Okay, so to finish this up, I just want to say this. When you feel that you have to give a person what they want for them to stay with you, you're basically trying to say, if I figure out her problems, then I'm enough. If I give her what she wants, then I'm enough. If I cater to what she needs, then I'm enough. You're looking for justification. You're looking for verification. You want someone, you're giving to them because you want someone to look at you and say, yeah, you're the man. And then she gives you her attention and she be there with you. You see, all this is what you're trying to do to satisfy a need within you. And because you're trying to satisfy the need within you, you're giving in to someone who's just basically using you in the first place. So these are a few things you need to think about before you start handing over your wallet to someone who's going to walk away from you anyway. So please like, subscribe, and share. I'm going to come back with a part 3 to finish up this. And please remember, give me your comments and your ideas so I can plan my trip to Thailand. So peace, take care, and see you in the next video. Bye.